Hello, Internet. I'm going to do some Armagnac reviews really quick because we have to move all of our stuff out of this apartment uh, pretty soon. All right, so these are all PM Spirits imports. These were samples sent to me by u/stormstatic on the Reddits. So thank you for that. So technically payola. Well, this was a trade. I sent him some other stuff in exchange, but it's payola. Like I'm as corrupt as anyone else out there. So don't pay attention to anything I say. Anyways, let's do a review. Armagnacs. I did a little intro to Armagnac review last year sometime, and I haven't really touched on them since. So I thought now would be a good time. Now that I've spent some time on cognac, a lot of time on cognac. There was like 2 videos on cognac. We should go back to the other yak and just see how things are getting on. So I will say in advance, maybe as a little bit of a warning, I really loved Armagnac a couple of years ago, and I found myself getting burned out of them very quickly because the flavor profiles that they bring are fantastic, but they're also a little bit exhausting, and they also kind of tend to blur together a little bit after a while. So just a warning, if you try your first Armagnac and you really love it and you want to go out and buy the entire Armagnac section, slow the hell down. Give yourself time to work through, otherwise you're going to end up like me, just not even thinking about the category very much until someone sends you a bunch of awesome samples. All right, so what we got here, pardon my French, is first the Domaine D'Aurensan. This is a 2009 vintage, 10-year-old, 100% ugni blanc. That is the also the main grape in cognac. No additives, no chill filtration, color, anything like that. From the Ténarèze, Ténarèze area, I think it's pronounced that way, which is super famous among yak nerds. And this was bottled at a cask strength of 43% ABV. That is not that is actual cask strength. So the cask itself was apparently pretty empty when they emptied it out. It was only a couple of 100 liters, or just over 100 liters, from a big French oak cask. So they probably they don't get a whole lot of evaporation over there in southwest France. So I would guess they just didn't fill the cask very high, or people were dipping into it a lot over the years. Anyway, so this is a producer I've known about for a long time, and I've never actually tried them before. So these other 2 are a lot older, so I thought this would be a fun little aperitif to do. All right, 43% cask strength. Let's see what we got on this. Now that is a nose. That is a killer nose, actually. Incredibly rich, quite fruity, actually. Which I don't. So we got the cinnamon swirl ice cream thing going on, which is pretty common in Armagnac. You're getting wood, French woody characteristics. You're getting cinnamon, dried fruit, a lot of the time pepperiness. Nutmeg, clove, that kind of thing. In this case, cinnamon swirl ice cream. But then you're also getting like a red fruit all over the place. There's wild cherries. There's some strawberries. There's some blueberries. There's just lots of blueberries. Raspberry even. Some like a s'more. Like just chocolate and graham cracker and marshmallow. But smother that in like some like really nutty coffee, like Brazilian coffee. And then you're gonna pile all of that with just a ton of fresh mint leaves. So you're getting those traditional kind of coffee cake characteristics that I associate with Armagnac. But it's really the berries driving this, and then the mint on top of everything. God, this is a great nose. 10 years old. I mean, the trick... I cannot stop nosing this. There's some hazelnut, too, peeking in from behind the mint. And some cassis, too. I mean, this is really a Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon drinkers Armagnac. Don't let that scare folks away if you hate Napa Cabs. I hate Napa Cabs. But there is something like that going on in here. Yeah, blackcurrant. Damn. And what's happening is there's a ton of complexity in this, but a lot of that complexity is coming from the distillate. This really feels like a very fruity, berry-driven distillate just clashing and intermingling with a very active French oak cask. And they're trying to negotiate, who's going to win this, man. And it's terrific. All right, on the palate, I really don't want to stop nosing this. On the palate, absolutely gorgeous. Stunning. Very mouth-filling. I mean, there's still little hints that it's young. The finish is fading a little bit faster than I would expect an older Armagnac to fade, but it still covers the whole mouth, like with this, again, that mixture of wild berries, cherries, blackcurrant, blackberry, blueberry, raspberry, a little nectarine in there. But then, the French oak characteristics, the prunes, the dried cherries, the dried fruits, the black pepper. Yeah, coffee cake along with the berries. Ooh. Fresh mint all over the place, but fresh mint like mixed with whipped cream. Oh God, that's good. Yeah, it's also very floral as well. Wow. So when I had the little Artez cask individually back in the day, I remember the Baco one, the 100% Baco, had some of these red fruit characteristics coming on, the berries, the berry-driven distillate thing. I was not expecting that coming from an ugni blanc, and apparently this is 100% ugni blanc. God, this is terrific. This is making me reevaluate like what brandy can be actually, because it's so different. There's a little bit of black licorice in here too. Yeah, man. Floral stuff is wrapped into the fruitiness. And even if the finish fades a little bit quicker than I would like, it's still really nice, really priceless. Kind of forward in the mouth, still covers the mouth, but most of it is up front. But you're getting like this mix of sweet and sour and drying, and herbal, all at the same time. God, that is good. This is 10 years old. It is not inexpensive. I think a full bottle of this is like $100, and I'm telling you right now, it is absolutely worth it. I'm gonna get a couple drops of water. I'll come back to it, see what happens. So as a general rule, I find Armagnac does not swim very well. I want to add water just to see what they do, but as often they just they don't like it. They get a little bit thin and unbalanced. But as a way of testing the integrity of a spirit, I tend to like to add water when I can, just to see what it does. All right, let's move on. We have a pair of La Cantadas here. This is the Lous Pibous one. Why am I holding up these bottles? They don't have anything on them. This is a 1995, brought in, I think, especially for PM spirits. I guess it's, figure 24, 25 years old. Bas-Armagnac appellation, single cask strength of 52.1% alcohol. I think this is all sold out, but I think it will be representative of this style in general. All right, here we go. On the nose. This is, okay. So back when I was drinking a lot of yak, this is the kind of flavor profile I was much more familiar with. This is what I expect from an Armagnac. This is new to me. Sorry, if you're just listening, what I just pointed to was the D'Aurensan. That is new to me. This Lous Pibous is delivering a lot of traditional characters. Very nice. Very woody prunes, dried cherries. You're going to drown that out in some black pepper, cardamom, along with your cinnamon. Some coffee grinds, fresh French roast coffee grinds. But there is a little bit of a fruitiness coming through here. There's a little along with the prunes, you're also getting some fresh plum, a little bit of fresh plum, and some hints of orange. More dried orange than fresh orange, but still. Toasted walnut shell. Kind of there's a Chinese black tea. This is like that, but overstewed. Kind of a lighter style, very aromatic. Damn, what is it called? Doesn't matter. Overstewed black tea. Moving on. And old furniture, like you walked into the set of a period drama, and you just started smelling up all the furniture. You're getting kind of that Bronzio note. On the palate, it is Christmas in my mouth. Ooh, Jesus. It's Christmas time, and Santa Claus brought along all of his wood tannins. Ooh, big dry monster. I hate to say that Storm is going to hate me for saying this, but there's a lot of bourbon drinkers that would love this. Yeah. Kind of follows from where it was on the nose. Very dry. Just rips the side of your mouth out with the tannins. But it's kind of fun. Okay, again, dried fruit, more dried cherry this time than prune. Little sun-kissed raisin too, along with all those. Little fig, black pepper, cinnamon, just kind of a general Christmas spiciness. The spice must flow. New coffee grinds and old coffee grinds, like soggy coffee grinds in there too. God, and that orange note kind of lifts things a little bit. That little hint of like orange zest, kind of citrus, kind of gives a little lightness of character. But God, this is really driven by those big, brutal, kind of smoky wood tannins. Let me give this one more shot. If I were to complain, I mean, you could call this a little bit one note. Maybe. But, that's not bad necessarily. Philip Glass, Steve Reich did a lot with one note. So, that's not a bad thing. So what I'm going to do, though, is, but God, I mean, that beautifully, so we would call this in wine world structured. This is a structured wine. I'm sorry, structured yak. I will give this a squirt of water just to see if it opens up a little bit. And come back to it. Oh, geez. Just ripping. Long finish, too. Just holds in your mouth forever. All right. Moving on to number 3, which is the Le Encantada Tattoo. Also a PM Spirits project. So this is a blend from 3 different estates. We've got Domaine Bellaire, Domaine del Cassou, and Domaine Lassalle. Blend of 5 casks from them, from age 26 to 35 years old, and then they have finished it in Weller casks. So, wheated bourbon casks, which sounds fun. I'm a little bit scared of that. I'm a little bit, worried that because I think the last time I mingled French oak and American oak was that lot 40 cask strength Canadian, which I really did not like at all. So I'm a little bit scared of this, but we're gonna give it a shot. All right, on the nose. Also 47.6% alcohol. It's not as big as the last one. If you're listening, I'm raising my eyebrows right now. Yeah. Difficult to get a beat on this one. Kind of. Okay, so I can still kind of tell that it's Armagnac. I'm still getting the cinnamon, the prunes, the golden raisins, some white pepper in there, but you're kind of throwing in, you're kind of fudging all of that, and then you're throwing like some pickled ginger in. You get like some lemon drops. It's also a very, it feels like a congested nose. It's not very expressive right now. Maybe it'll improve with a little bit of water, but right now I'm not getting a whole lot. Especially not a whole lot that's very defined, if I can put it that way. A little mint again. Some Earl Grey tea Earl Grey hot. Graham crackers, a little bit of porridge, but like sweetened porridge, like maybe you put some dried fruit in there and some molasses maybe. It's very strange. It's a very kind of vague fudged nose. It's I'm not getting a whole lot, honestly. So let's skip to the palate. Okay, it kind of works. Still a little bit confused for my palate. Very much leading again on Christmas spice. Ton of black pepper on this bad boy. Prunes, dried cherries again. The black pepper, the white pepper, the cinnamon, the cardamom, clove. All that's still in play, but it's being kind of cut through by, what is that? Something citrus candy like. What is? Almost like you put a little bit of like a lemon lime note in this, like Sprite. You put some Sprite in your Armagnac. There's some ginger in this, not more powdered ginger than pickled. I'm very confused by this. There's a little bit of like a steel cut oatmeal in this thing with lots of honey and spices. Again, more graham cracker, definitely. Big, I mean, but I mean the foundation, the big firm wood tannins, again, structured Armagnac. That's all still here. I mean, but again, it feels a little confused. It feels a little like it doesn't quite totally know what it wants to be. Interesting. I'm very curious to see what this does with water, because if this opens up and all those, it gets kind of more not so congested, then I think this could be a real winner. But right now, it's a little bit of a mess. I'm not going to give it a full squirt. I'm just going to give it a couple drops, because this is very old and it feels more fragile than this one, than the second one does. Okay, let's go back through with the water. See what these do. Again, in the past I found that yaks don't handle water that well, but I've also found that water is a good test to see, what a spirit is made of. So I've been very light on the water with all these. The middle one got the most, obviously, but let's see what happens. All right. So far, the 10-year-old, the D'Aurensan, was actually winning for me. Let's see what happens on the nose. Okay, that got a little bit more weird. What is that? So there's a little bit of a sour note that's come through. It's a lot of those, the same characteristics are the same. You're still bouncing off, the French oak notes with the sort of fresh berry notes with that incredible minty note. But then on top of that, there's a sour. What the hell is that? It's like a mix between, like a dairy sour note, maybe like a yogurty farmer's cheese kind of note. I actually gave a glass of this to my wife last night, and she thought it smelled a little bit like plastic, and I could see that like plastic sour, like really really fresh plastic, like just out of the factory, but mingled in with yogurt that's just starting to turn, that kind of thing. Weird. It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just a little baffling because everything else is so beautiful and so, in check. On the palate, again, ooh, this is really good stuff. I know it's 10 years old. I know it's like whatever the price it was, like 90, $100. But if this is still around, you should seriously consider seeking this out. This is really good, really interesting. God damn. So what shut me up there was I was about to say that the sour note was also coming through on the palate, and then the big kick of sort of wood tannins at the same time. The berry note kind of came in and kicked me hard in the face to remind me that they were still there. So let me try this one more time. This is real good. The mint takes on a more mint chocolate ice cream kind of character. The wood is still there. The berries are still there, but the berries have kind of now like gotten a little bit more sour. So you're getting more wild berry notes rather than sort of fresh farm market nice notes. And you're throwing a little bit of like lemon zest and maybe like Greek yogurt in there. It's fun. I really like this. That nose on the nose is still a little bit weird. It's still bugging me a little. But this is very, very good spirit. I have, well, okay, so I'm going to give this a 90 because it's that good. This is that good. I'm going to tack a minus on there. So minus 90 because, 90 minus, sorry. Because of that, the sort of sour, astringent, slightly plasticky note on the finish, you know, ought not to be ignored. But that being said, if you like weird spirits, this is one to seek out. Damn, that is good. $90 with a minus. And that's what I got. All right, let's move on. Let's put these over here. All right, moving on to the Lous Pibous. 1995 with some water. Okay, I thought, you know, I was beginning to think the D'Aurensan would run away with this, but now the the big boys fight. The 95 is fighting back. It's gotten, you know, it's sweetened up a lot. It's gotten very delicious and dessert-like. And it wasn't like it wasn't, you know, delicious and dessert-like before. It was just sort of really driven more by Christmas and tannins. Oh, that is nice. It smells more creamy on the nose. There's some like cinnamon toast crunch mixed with, you know, I don't know, more cinnamon toast crunch and just some fresh whipped cream. But now that there's a little bit of that fruity note coming out in this too, there's like a blueberry scone thing coming through, which is really nice. Yeah, creamy, dried fruit still, peppery still, smells very woody, but God, it's the Christmas dessertiness is just, it's a great nose. It's a terrific nose. Whew. Okay, still dry. Still a wood monster, still ripping my face off with the amount of wood tannins on the finish. But what this does with water, it doesn't collapse. It actually comes together very, very nicely. I'm hugely impressed with this. It was a little bit off balance neat, and now it just everything is humming. You're really getting, you know, masala chai, the best masala chai ever made, with wood tannins and dried fruit for days. And that's exactly what this is. Yeah, real good. Terrific effort. I would give this 89 points. I still like the D'Aurensan a little bit more, and it is a little bit more unique and special, but this is, as a more traditional, you know, straightforward example of what an old Armagnac is, and what an Armagnac is in general. God, this is good. I have no idea what the price point of this is. I would think, you know, probably between 120 and 180, maybe somewhere in that mid-100 range. And you know, it's probably worth that. If you are looking, if you're like have a bunch of bourbon friends and you want to sort of run a tasting to explore their palates, this is a good one to throw in. Because man, this is going to appeal to a lot of palates, but at the same time, I would totally understand if the price seemed a little bit prohibitive. Let me give this one more shot. Yeah, I'm happy with 89. Oh, the actually, there's a little bit of mint chocolate chip coming out on this too. I'm happy with that. It's more like like if you go to like a grocery store, you get the gourmet chocolate that's chocolate bar with that little bit of mint in it. It's more that than the ice cream, but still, there's a little hint of mint in there. All right, moving on to the tattoo. This is the one that confused me initially. So I'm hoping that water will bring it to life, and it will. This is almost certainly the most expensive thing here. I mean, you know, getting up to 30-odd-year-old brandy, finished in you know, big famous bourbon casks, so they're really Weller really shouldn't be that famous. So I would expect there's a huge price tag on this. Let's see what it's got. Okay, doesn't really perk up more than I already had. Still doing cinnamon and clove and dried fruit. And graham cracker and porridge. You are throwing a little bit of like pipe smoke in there, like a pure Virginia tobacco pipe smoke note in there. But yeah, it's just not aromatically very expressive. This is a little bit of a disappointment, even though I was you know, a little bit worried just because of the finish. Hello, little Armagnac. Where are you? Yeah, that's kind of all I got on the palate. Ooh. It actually kind of loses what it had. I mean, so the tannic grippiness, which was kind of what was appealing to me initially, that's kind of faded away, and what I'm left with is just kind of a. It's mainly just like a, you know, take a graham cracker, maybe like your graham cracker. You're mixing that with like some you know, like some ginger snaps and also some vanilla wafers. You know, classic cookies, that kind of thing. And you're just going to spread some like fig butter on them, and then put some black pepper on the fig butter. That's kind of all this is doing for me. Yeah, there's some nice floral notes in there. A little the little candied ginger maybe, which is okay. A little bit of a black tea note in there, but you know, it's yeah, for this is not living up to the stats on the sample bottle. Sorry, Storm. I don't really like this that much. Or I mean, it's fine. I would give this. What would I give this? Let me try this one more time. It feels like it's got more to give. It's just not coming out. But maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not never going to come out. So I would give this an 84 question mark. I will throw a question mark on there when I'm not entirely convinced of my own rating, and in this case, I'm not. I'm just. I don't think this is. I think this is good. I don't think it's great, and I expect it is not worth its price tag. But that being said, I am leaving room open for me to be tremendously wrong, and you know, I'm going to leave this right here. And if I come back to it in an hour and it's just opened up and is singing beautifully, I will put that in the notes. But I don't really think so. So I'm going to leave. So let's say 84 question mark for right now. And that's all I got. Armagnac is you know, a category that needs more attention. I think it's most famous right now is the only place where you can get reasonably priced older spirits, but this is not old. This Aurensan here, this is not old at all, and it showed me a little something today. I mean, this is good stuff. If this is representative of a broader style, that's out there that I don't really know about. I want to know more about that style. This is very good indeed. And I guess that's all I got. Thanks very much for watching. I learned something today. I hope you did too. And hope it was useful, and cheers.